This is January 30th, 2014. We come to you this evening, Father, bearing our love for you before us. As you know, earlier today, we were in a discussion about our near-death experience. And as I was remembering my experience with my lady prior to the decision to come back to earth for this lifetime, she took me to a very beautiful place that I can only recall in the moment. A little bit. If it's acceptable, if it's okay, I'd like to go back there, Father. I'd like to go back and see my lady in that beautiful place. Since it was such a pivotal time for me, if it's possible, I would like to do that. And I would like to have understanding of what I'm experiencing, and or perhaps someone to share things with, someone to, I guess I'm coming to be with you, Father. You know it's in my heart. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, we have the channel then, and we are one. As we begin with these works, let us offer this affirmation of oneness unto all of consciousness, that all who are in oneness with this work might know we welcome them. It is within and without, and all about wheresoever we might journey, the presence of our loving Father. And so as we journey in this occasion, according to our brother's quest, we do so with our Father in the midst of his love and in the knowing of his compassion. As we seek out this information and bring it forth for our brother, we say unto all of consciousness, thank you for your love and your oneness with this work. And we thank thee, Father, for this opportunity of joyful service in thy name. There is no need to return to the past or the physical of the past, for all that has been is in that which is the sum of each entity's journey. So is it then we gather our brother arm in arm with the many who journey with us, and we move into that which has been and lives on, that our brother may find that which calls to him from within. The vision is one of a young lad whose dis-ease of body was so intense that it caused him to call out. Without the knowing in the consciousness of his being, his call was heard and answered by one who chose to guide him and to be with him in all things. And so our brother was met by the one called his lady. And so this is where we find them. We shall recount this for his reference as best we can. The channel finds himself in a place that has a sense of familiarity and yet not so much so. There is at first the glow of a light building, and as the channel observes, his own spirit begins to glow with recognition of the beauty of that which is now before him. In the same timeless gentleness, with her essence aglow, and a smile which radiates Father's love and wisdom, she reaches out to him and they embrace. littles exchanged between them, as she knoweth the channel's intent, and with an arm over his shoulder, guiding him, they turn to follow a path that now appears brilliantly white in its luminescence, and yet seemingly so gentle and welcoming to the channel. Our channel looks about in all directions and sees a familiar mist, and he smiles as he looks at his lady, for he knows that she is aware that he experienced this with his beloved friend Peter. She pauses the channel for a moment, and looking at him very carefully, we hear this communication. Leave here in this journey, at this place, all that you are and know. Do this as you did in that time when last we walked this pathway, and that which you seek will awaken within you. But if you bear with you those things that are the accumulation of your knowing, your experiences since then, it may be difficult for you to know them, to see them, to feel them. Do you understand? Somewhat smitten by the beauty of her gaze and the sweetness of what he knows to be truth given to him, our brother thanks her and indicates he would pause a moment, and so doing, we see his familiar activity to release that which is his knowing, his being, his consciousness of that which has been. And it is, for the reference, a very interesting experience to observe. For as he releases these things which are the summation of he who he is, our brother, there emerges something that we have known forever. And we all here are deeply touched to be present. There cometh forth from where he was a child. The child is known to Our Lady from the beginning, and though he is not in small stature, yet does she reach to take a hand, for it has been decided a form would be appropriate here. As our brother feels her energy moving to mingle with his, a gladness, a sense of euphoric joy and peace, all summated into one thing, become his knowing. She perceives this and only smiles with a nod, and she turns to lead him along the pathway, and we follow. She communicates to him that in those times past, as a child, he was near to the doorway to return to Father, and while he did not know that in his earthly consciousness, as she then, in those times past, led him along this pathway, he began to know. And as they walked the pathway, others came from different directions to celebrate their presence, and delightedly our brother gestured to them, the gesture from his heart, indicating his love for them. As they passed through the doorway, our brother knew this to be that which lies beyond. He began to perceive the beauty of those thought forms, those creations of his beloved brothers and sisters, created and sustained here in this beautiful white city to celebrate the return of the children of God. And he began to see others whom he immediately remembered within, and he felt the warmth and love pouring from them, and the joy to perceive one another again in this manner. And they continued to move, and our brother was in awe of the beauty of the plants and structures, the inviting little pathways, sounds of beauty, fragrances so sweet. They made his consciousness quiver with delight to know them. And then he heard a very familiar voice, and Our Lady paused as he perceived a beloved brother Pardon, we must pause here a moment to balance the energies. farewell. And then another, and another, and his sister, and here another. And his sweet lady led him to stand before the brother who loves him. In that same manner as does our Father. There are sounds of sweetness, memories of times past, the flight of beautiful creatures, others who come to be with them and surround them, and our Master seats our brother, taking his hand in his own. We hear the memory of the words spoken. Please, may I remain and the Master quickly glances up to look at his lady with a smile, and then, stroking our brother gently, patting him, we hear him answer, "You may as you wish. Yours is the choice, and the gifts that would follow your choice will always be there for you. But let us show you something." And another brother comes to stand before them, and the general rises to his feet swiftly to embrace a sweet, remembered teacher of past. And others come, and this is repeated. And he quickly remembers and turns back to the Master. Without a word, the Master simply shakes his head. No matter. It is good, no matter. And gestures for him to seat himself beside him. If you choose to return and continue your path as has been your intent for accepting it, they will be with you, all of them, as shall I. But it is truth that I tell you, you will endure as you have known you would do that which lies before you on the path, which is the journey through earth. as a lifetime. And you will always know if you reach within, touching the channel's midsection, that we are here with you in accordance with the law. So is it. And if you should, in a time, as we know you shall, we can walk together with you in a manner which will bring to you all that you are seeing and anticipating here now, and even greater. Now, it is for you to know and to choose. Standing and lifting our brother the channel by an elbow, the Master embraces him, and they lean to touch foreheads, and the Master turns and strides and is gone. We can feel the reaction in our brother. It is as though a part of his very being is gone. But it takes only a gentle touch from his lady, and he turns to be infilled with her understanding and grace. And again, the love that he knows flows from Father. But you are not as you were. You are here in a different time. She communicates to him in a gentle whisper. And it is your right. So now that you have remembered this, let us visit that which you did not experience. Without waiting for a response from him, his lady turns and, touching the others, they move forward, back along the pathway. Our brother turns this way and that to gesture to all of his beloved friends, and then shifts his focus completely to Our Lady. The beauty that you perceive here, and she gestures with a hand, lies within us all. It only awaits our discovery and our choice. And as one of us brings it forth, we all give unto it, because we know it to be the wonderful gift and glory of our Father being expressed here in this place of wonder and truth. You see over here. Something that you will remember when you return, but do not strive for that now. Keep your consciousness new and open. Reach out and feel the structure ahead. And our brother is in wonder. It is a structure such as a building or the like, but it is almost transparent. It is so pure and beautiful, like an absolute pure crystal, and it seems to radiate beautiful, subtle colors of energy and sounds, like the sounds of twilight and dawning in earth, the gentleness of a forest awakening, a spring bringing forth life-giving waters, the call of a dove for its partner, and so much more. As his lady observes, she whispers softly, "What you see is created out of the will of the children of God. It is from their being. You might call it life itself. The structure is the harmony of all that is, and our brothers and sisters who have journeyed forth and returned have offered the beauty of their journeys unto this structure. Why do I see it as though it is shivering, vibrating? It is because it is life. It is not confined of stone or mortar or steel or any such. It is the living essence of those whose love give it life. It will always be, as long as there is love in the hearts of our brethren. Would you like to enter it? Our brother is shaken by this possibility, for the magnificence of the structure resonates within him as though it calls to him, as though a part of himself is already within. Our Lady smiles into his eyes and touches him. Be free and choose. I do choose. Please, I should like to know this magnificent gift of my brothers and sisters. With only a nod, they walk towards an opening at what would be the forefront of the structure, One can tell this by the energy that seems to reach out and welcome one, and by the surroundings that seem to be singing praise and celebrating the wonder of creation itself. Once they have entered, the channel sees that there are many beautiful angles, sides, if you will, that reach up as he peers upwards, on and on, further than he had thought he had perceived when outside the structure. He looks then to the center, and there is a beautiful symbol, a column that is a symbol that rises upwards. Turning to Our Lady, she nods. It is a sacred symbol, and those who believe unto it have placed it here, and we all honor it, for the knowing of it is to know that we are our Father's children, and that wheresoever we are with Him, and He is with us. The channel walks around the symbol, which at the base he begins to discern. He points, turning to look at his lady. She nods, "You may touch it." And he reaches out with his consciousness to know this facet of the spire of this solidified light and energy and color. And he begins to resonate with the energy of it. And with a smile he turns to his lady, and she nods before he can say, "I know this. I have known this for a very long time." And she comes to take his hand again as they walk around the beautiful spire. And they come to a chamber that opposes the entry in the manner of its structure. And here the ambiance seems to change, and Our Lady studies our brother with a smile, and he looks this way and that as they continue to move, and what was beautiful, transparent walls, perhaps you might call them, is now being transformed into something that he cannot discern. It is as though there are rows of beautifully pulsating objects. He cannot discern what they are, but row upon row of them, one upon the other and another upon that, reaching up a great distance, forming walls, if you will, of these beautiful glowing objects. and on they move. And finally, she pauses as another maiden comes to greet them, calling our brother by name. He smiles with a start, not recognizing her, and yet having a knowing of her. I am so pleased that you chose to come. We are honored to be with you here, gesturing with her arms to the great walls of glowing objects. Would you like to see more? And our brother states, with a bit of humor, there's more? Oh yes, she answers, much, much more. Our brother's lady looks at her and she nods. She has communicated, not too much longer, I must return him. So, she takes his hand and leads him down what seems to be a corridor in the midst of these beautiful columns of such beautiful spheres and unique shaped conglomerations of energies, you might call them. And to our brother's surprise, they come to a place that is structured of stone, and as they walk, he is greeted by a number of beautifully robed entities who gesture to him and bow slightly in honor of recognition. She turns along several corridors and finally comes to a place and pauses. Do you know this place? She asks. Our brother looks and he feels something, but he hasn't the knowing to remember it. Reach out, she states gently. Touch it. The channel reaches out his consciousness to touch the stone wall, and immediately it embraces him, and he begins to laugh. I have been here in this place, have I not? Yes, you have. And what you are experiencing is one of those objects that you admired along the way to this place. You are within a part of your own record. Some call it the Akasha, but it is your soul. The channel turns to look at his lady, who has followed them, and she smiles and touches him, gesturing not to delve into that deeply. Let it be and ask of others later. She takes our brother's hand again and reaches to embrace their guide, Rebecca, thanking her for her courtesy and kindness that took her from her work. Our Lady turns and gently moves past all the shimmering objects, and now our brother is truly in awe, for he realizes that these are, at least in the symbolic sense, the references to brothers and sisters. It can't be their souls, he states to Our Lady. And Our Lady, still guiding him along, states, no, but it is that key, if you will, that if they choose it, they can open the path to their soul, as you have just done. I didn't see a key, I didn't. Oh, you are saying that I chose to be here, I chose it. She merely nods, and they pass by the spired symbol, and our brother sees gentle flashings of coloured lights undulating in rivulets up and down the various surfaces, as though the column itself were speaking with God, as though some wondrous beings were sending blessings to all that is. They emerge from the structure and move with ease, gliding along the pathway, and the channel glances this way and that, noting the beautiful shaped foliage, the wondrous structures, and the beauty of the brothers and sisters he sees now, moving here and there, some seated and sharing, all as he glances at them, feel his glance and turn to gesture and return a gift of their love. It is dazzling to our brother, and his very being seems to sparkle with the gifts that have been given to him. Our Lady laughs softly and brushes the back of our brother. And the energies seem to move into proper order, and the channel's light grows in brilliance and colour. And soon they stand before the mist, and our brother remembers. You can take them back now, she states, as you wish. They belong to you, they are your experiences. But do not let them dominate you. Do not let them direct you upon your pathway. Always let this be your guide. touching him in the midsection of his being, and pause often to remember us as we always remember you. And when you share this, if that be your choice, tell the others it is for they to choose, but this is a home that they may choose to visit according to their will. The one who led you to your record has not always been known by that name. You have more recently known her as Andra. The channel begins to laugh, and Our Lady places her hands upon his shoulders and laughs with him. She has always chosen to help you when, as you say, the chips were down. I'm going to remember this. Our brother states that is beautiful if you will do that, for in the memory of it, as you continue your journey in the earth, you will create a pathway through the illusions of finiteness to this place of truth and the many, many others that are just as this one. Some speak of a heaven that is conditioned by what they know in the earth. Tell them, if they will listen, have no conditions. Believe in the wonder of their Creator and of themselves as His children. I want to thank you for helping me. The channel states to His Lady, and she responds, thank you for helping me. The channel turns to us and we greet him, and we become one to move, leaving a trail of glowing particles of love dancing along behind. And we come to the greenery of the homeland. And as we move across the greenery, our brother falls to his knees. In a prayer of gratitude and thanks to his Father. And so we all join in. And the Master cometh to kneel beside him, and all here in the homeland pause to give thanks to our Father and to our many brothers and sisters who hold within themselves the truth and who seek to give from this truth only that which is sought, and it is given with the purity of our Lord God's love. We feel the oneness of everything as we kneel side by side with the Christ, feeling his Spirit answering a multitude of prayers simultaneously, his hands and ours caressing one who has fallen. His love and ours embracing one who is imprisoned, that they would know we are their kin, their brothers and sisters who love them. A wave of living darkness descends upon the beauty of the homeland, and all that is begins to vibrate in the loving embrace of Father himself. And after a time, a golden light begins to appear and reaches out to embrace each one of us. And that which was, is, and we are. So is it then, and so shall it be. Unto all those who have knowing of this, the peace of the one God is our offering to you. And now we bring our brother to Michael, who shall guide him to his return. But not before his dear brother and sister, Zachary, Iliam, and Sarah, come to give him an embrace. We who are one with God, our Father, celebrate the God within you. May it ever be a joy for you to reach out and to know that you are His. We are complete here, through for the present. Very well then, dear brother, dear sister, and all of you. It is time that you awaken and return. Awaken now.